Yo, what's good? I told you guys this wasn't a dead channel. What's up? If you guys are at all familiar with the type of music that I make, you'll know that I am a little bit into making lo-fi music. Well, today I'm going to be doing a bit of a behind the scenes video and just walk you through my personal process of how I make lo-fi music. Now, this isn't a comprehensive tutorial per se. I'm mostly just going to be showing how I do it and how you guys could probably do it as well. I don't know. This won't be super structured. I'll just make up something on the spot and give you guys a few tips. So when it comes to lo-fi, or at least how I make lo-fi, there are two distinct methods. You could either have something that's a little more sample based, or you can have something that's completely original. I'll start by going over a more sample based track, and then I'll show you guys how to do more original stuff. So for this, I'm going to be using FL Studio. Obviously you can use whatever DAW you want. I'm just used to using this, so that's what I'm going to go with. So when it comes to samples, in case you don't know what a sample is, it's essentially just a piece of music that you did not make, but you are using it in your song. There's a bit of a gray area when it comes to like copyright and stuff, like, oh, what samples am I even allowed to use? For this, I'm just going to be using a sample pack, something that you are allowed to use as far as I'm aware. The general rule of thumb is that if you just take a piece of music, just a small piece of it, not the whole thing, and maybe pitch it down, pitch it up, you know, just change it a little bit, you're usually okay. But for now, I'm just gonna go into my files and find me something jazzy, I don't know. Alright, so right here I got my main sample and I got my drum sample. Now we're gonna play this and see how good it sounds. Yikes, that's pretty bad. You may notice how there are numbers next to the titles of these. That is because these are not in the same BPM. So what you want to do to fix that, I mean, there's two ways. First off, you can just grab it, stretch it around, you know, do whatever you want with it. Or you can do what I do and just press this little thing. I don't know what that is. Press fit the tempo and then type in BPM, and you just put in whatever's in the title, in this case 170, and it automatically fits it with your project. Or you could also just change this, like right here the drums are 90, so I can change this to be 90, and there you go. And just restretch it that way. It's also a good idea that if you do restretch something, you'll want to go to here, click on resample, change it to stretch. That way it won't automatically change its pitch, or let's say you want to change this back to like whatever, it'll just stay in place. Generally, a good BPM to go for when doing lo-fi is somewhere around 100 to like 70, you know, not something too fast. I might even just put this at 90 because that seems like a good speed to put it at. All right, now let's see what it sounds like. There we go, nice and on time. Alright, so then from there we can just, you know, copy and paste everything, and then there we go. That's the whole song, right? No, of course not. We gotta do this little thing called pacing, or something like that. Usually when I make music, not just with lo-fi, but really with any genre of music, I'll have a bit of an intro, which essentially just eases the audience into whatever they're listening to, and then you kick in with the drums and go or whatever, right? Technically, you could either just have it be the drums and then it leads into the melody, or you can just have the melody and then it leads into the drums. Either way, as long as it isn't starting out super complicated, you can kind of have this like ease in to whatever this song is like. So let's listen to it like this. There we go. It's a lot more like, there's more of a build up to it. I don't know how better to describe it. One thing you may also want to do if your sample is a little bit repetitive, by the way, this little thing here, that changes the timing of it. Pressing this little thing here, it'll just like cut into it basically. So what I might do with this, just to keep it a little bit less repetitive, is I'll cut into it right here, click on it to copy it, and then just paste it as such, and then we can have that little that little special bit later on. So it just gives it like a slight bit more variety. Another thing that you might want to do just to make sure it's not too repetitive is change up the drums a little bit. We're still kind of in the intro here, so I'm thinking what I could do is just have it maybe just cut off right here, so you have this moment of like it just stops and then it starts again. So let's listen to that. There we go. It just, I don't know. I feel like it just helps make it a little less samey the whole time. And yeah, it might be a good idea to just like repeat that. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit of, it's a little repetitive in of itself to continue having these like starts and stops, and I don't know. That's just how I do it. Make sure to save your projects often. I'm not gonna need a new folder for this or anything. I'm just gonna put it in my songs. Let's call it Cool Beats for Cool Kids. Cool Beats for Cool Kids. That's a good title right there. Another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have some like a little bit of stuttering in here, so you know, again, keeps it a little less boring. That's the thing with lo-fi. What you really got to worry about is if the song might be dragging on for too long, or if it's like, if there's just not enough things happening, or at least that's something I'm always concerned with. I know some people kind of like songs that are just like repetitive because it's like relaxing or whatever, but for me, I like to keep my songs kind of interesting the whole way through, so it just helps to have moments like this where it's like dun, 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 dun. Yeah. One thing that's a little bit, I don't know, controversial. I don't know if it's controversial, but it's a little bit like, you may want to not do this too much, but sometimes what I like to do is I'll have the song kind of just end, but then start up again. So let me show you what I mean. So here you have it playing as normal. Yeah. I'm not gonna start rapping, don't worry. Okay, but then listen to this. Yeah, see, you have that little pause in there. I think it keeps it kind of fresh, but you know, that's not something that you'd want to overdo too much, because I feel like it can get a little annoying. It may even be good to like just have that little moment in there where the beat kicks back in, just so it's not too jarring. I went ahead and removed like that kind of second part of it where it went like, yeah, where it went like that. I feel like it's kind of good to just, you know, keep it as simple as possible. Again, you don't want to like step on any toes. You don't want to just like have it be that sample and only that sample, right? What I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna put some effects on some of this. So first off, I'm gonna take this, can scroll that up to whatever track. Let's go with 5, because why not? One plugin that you really are gonna want if you want to start making lo-fi is what is it called? This little thing called vinyl. It essentially just emulates a record player. It's got a whole lot of effects, a whole lot of like, you can just make it sound like it's from different time periods. It's super helpful. I even use it for songs that aren't lo-fi. I'll use it for whatever. So here, let's go ahead and let's turn off that dust. It's so annoying. Let's go ahead and do a bit of a comparison. This is what it sounds like with vinyl turned off. And this is it with it turned on. Very subtle, but I think it makes a huge difference. So I think what I might go ahead and do, you can also do this to, you know, keep it a little bit varied. You can create an automation clip, and what that will do is essentially just allow you to automate the clip. I mean it's pretty self-explanatory. So for example, let's say I have it on right here. I can go do this, and it'll turn it off in the next clip. Yeah, okay, it's a little hard to tell there, but you get the idea. What you are gonna want to avoid doing with vinyl though is having slopes like this, because then you'll get like this weird effect where basically in vinyl it has like this warp thing. So unless you have this turned all the way down, it'll start playing the normal sound and then the warp sound at like the same time. It has like this weird effect. I'll show you in a second. Yeah, see, kind of cool sounding, but not super helpful when trying to make lo-fi. So I'll go ahead and I'll have that turned on during all these segments where there's no drums, because I think that would sound cool. What I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm gonna open up an EQ. I always go with fruity parametric EQ. I've never had to say that out loud. That does not roll off the tongue. Simply go to this little thing right here. You can scroll through different shapes. I go with this one that's like facing left, basically. Take the little dot, make it like that, adjust it down here, and yeah, there we go. Now you got basically a low pass, I guess. I don't know my music terminology too well. So yeah, from here you can create another automation clip. Let's see, yeah, take this all the way down, and then where you want it to actually start playing, you can bring it back up. I'm actually gonna go ahead and move this, if it'll let me. There you go. Yeah, I tend to use this for like intros and outros, so it kind of like fades in and then fades out. So let's hear let's hear what that sounds like. There we go. Nice and slowly coming in. Alright, and lastly, I'm gonna go ahead and add in just whatever makes sense, just other like sounds and stuff. Alright, I went ahead and added a little bit of a crash. I don't know if it fits the vibes super well. I might go ahead and give it its own effects. I'll put it in its own channel. Oh yeah, and here I'm using Tal Reverb. It's also a plugin. I didn't mention this before. Vinyl is free. Vinyl is a free plugin, guys. You need to get it. It's free. But so is this. So this is also a free plugin. I think it just sounds slightly better than what's the default one? Yeah, Fruity Reverb too. Fruity Reverb isn't that great, but Tau Reverb's pretty good. I ended up using a different crash because the other one was kind of loud. It gives it a little bit of oomph, you know? Alright, and now what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to look for cool anime sounding voices. For vocal samples, you know, again, you can look for like sample packs. What I end up doing is I'll look for some really old like video clip. It can really be anything. That's the great thing about like samples, like vocal samples, is that you can just take whatever in whatever context and reuse it. I've used clips from Driver.
Thank God for the rain, which has helped wash away the garbage and the trash off the sidewalks.
Here we go. Here's a I actually don't know what this is. I think it's like a short film or like a PSA thing from like the 50s. It has like people talking about love in it, so I'm just gonna pick a random scene and maybe take whatever out of it.
Are we really interested in the same things? Do we feel at ease together? Are we proud of each other? Do we agree on the basic things such as religion, marriage, children, money, and so on?
So deep. The bad thing about this one specifically is that there is like music in the background, so you might want to use something like that in segments where there's already music, so you can't hear it as much.
Are we really interested in the same things? Do we feel at ease together? Are we proud of each other? Do we agree on the basic things?
Yeah, okay, that's pretty fire. Alright, so I went ahead, did a whole bunch of stuff. I added a few like anime vocals. Let's listen to this one. No, I am not. But yeah, I just sort of sprinkled a few of those around. Give it a bit of an aesthetic feel, you know what I'm saying? With this one specifically, I made it like echo, so Okay, I didn't play the whole thing, but yeah, the way I did that, what I did is pretty simple. You know, put the vinyl effect on there. I went ahead and turned up the dust on here, and then turned down the volume of it, just so that it's always constantly playing that little crackle sound. This bar right here, this handles like the amount that it actually does it. Like the if I put it down here, it'll happen less often, and then if I put it up here, it'll happen every like millisecond. The gain here is just like basically the volume, so I'm turning it down because if I have it all the way up, yeah, it gets a little irritating to me. But yeah, I had the vinyl, I had a reverb set up like this. I usually don't do anything to like these other things. I just mess with like the dry and the wet. The dry is just, you know, how loud the actual vocal itself is, and then the wet would be how much reverb is added onto it. Then we got delay. I turn the level down. The level basically just is like how many times it'll delay. So like if I have it down a whole bunch, it'll only go hey, hey, hey. But I have it all the way like to here, to where it'll turn red to show you that it's gonna be way too loud. Because what'll end up happening is it'll go like, hey, 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 hey. Like it'll just keep going. When you have like a delay, you want it to be a little more in the background. So that's normally how I do it. So yeah, that's how I did those. Another thing I went ahead and did is you can do, I think older versions of FL Studio doesn't do this. I think this is like a thing that's exclusive to version 21. Where basically you can take at like the edges of every sound clip you put in, you can pull at it, and it'll just like, you know, turn down the volume just on its own basically. And if you have everything highlighted, it'll do it all at the same time. I want to see if I can show that. There, see? It does all of them at the same time. And the reason I'm doing that is because if you don't do that, you'll get a little clicking sound if you just snap straight into a vocal without it fading in and out. So yeah, I think this is pretty much done. I'm gonna go ahead and save it and give it a listen.
Are we really interested in the same thing? Do we feel at ease together? Are we proud of each other? Do we agree on the basic things?
Alright, I think that turned out pretty good for something that I had no plan going into it for. So I'm going to go ahead and produce this. I think I'll call it just based on the sample. I do this a lot with songs where I won't have really a title for it until like after I'm done with it. In this case, I'm going to call it...
Basic things.
She didn't say it right. The basic things. I'm going to call it basic things. In case you don't know how to export something in FL Studio for whatever reason. Maybe it's your first time using it. I don't know. You go up to File. You go up to Export. You can choose Audio File. I always go with Wave because Wave is essentially just like the highest quality you can get in a sound. MP3s are pretty much useless. Just don't mind with MP3s unless maybe you're sharing it with Discord, because I know Discord doesn't really like WAV files too much, so in that case use an MP3. But for the most part you're gonna want to make it WAV just because it's the difference is small, but it's a lot. Or if you're making a game, you'll want to use OGG. OGG is it's like the most compressed audio file, but it works good for games because then it like has less to run. It makes sense. After you name it, it'll take you to this screen where you can once again choose. This time you can choose multiple things. I'm just gonna do a wave, and then yeah, you just press start. Usually I don't care about the rest of the stuff. It's whatever. There you go. Alright, and now that I've shown you how to make lo-fi with a sample, I'm gonna see if I can make lo-fi without the sample. For the sake of convenience, I'll just use like the same beats and stuff. I'll just mute that and then pull everything down a little bit. So I'll go ahead and make a little pattern here or whatever, and then yeah, we'll add some instruments. So when it comes to using actual instruments for lo-fi, what I usually default to is Lo-Fi Panda 2. Now, Lo-Fi Panda, it's the only plugin that I've downloaded for FL Studio that actually costs money. Mostly, pretty much just everything that I have is all like freeware stuff. Like even this right here, you got another one called Lofi, which is pretty good. I don't use it much for lo-fi. I actually use it for just like my more like Jet Set Radio, Bomb Rush, Cyberpunk type music. I'll load up lo-fi or love-fi because I don't know, it just sounds cool. But for the most part, when it comes to lo-fi, I'll use Lo-Fi Panda. Like I said though, this does cost money. I think the current, like the latest version, Lo-Fi Panda 3 is like $80. But if you really are passionate and interested in wanting to make lo-fi, then I would totally recommend it, because version 3 is apparently like super good. Like this is pretty good. This version right here is good. Apparently 3 is like 10 times. Like it's huge. Unfortunately though, I already have this version, so I'm not gonna pay for a new one. So you'll see in here you got like all sorts of instruments and stuff. What I usually default to is just you go to piano, scroll down, you can favorite some of them. I have one of them favorited. Okay, maybe I don't. There we go. Grand piano basic is usually what I go with at first. Now this is a part that I'm sure a lot of you have gotten to and just not been sure what to do, because this is the part where we actually make the music. Now there's I guess there's 3 main methods to doing this. What I normally do is I'll go online and I'll just look up like lo-fi chord progressions, aesthetic chord progressions, jazz chord progressions, you know, whatever might fit the vibe that I'm going for. There's one particular site which I always come back to where it has like, I think it's like top 11 like lo-fi chord progressions, something like that. I'll have it linked in the description. It's super helpful for when I just don't know like what chord progression to go with. They've got like examples of it, and then like it actually like you can play the music and then see the chords that are being used in the music. It's great. I love it. Another way that you can do it, or at least how I do it, is sometimes I'll just look at a song that I really like and then I'll just steal from it. I've done this a few times where I've looked up like a MIDI recreation or like a that thing, what is it called, Synthesia or whatever. I'll just look up like this song piano recreation, and then I'll base the chords based on that piano recreation. Again, it doesn't have to be like a one-to-one recreation. In fact, I would encourage changing it up a little bit once you actually have it all copied down, but you know, that's just me. And then the third way you can do it, and this is the way that I usually don't do it, is you can look up like lo-fi midis, which if you don't know what a MIDI is, it's essentially a file that you can take and drag it into your DAW. For instance, I'll go ahead and put in whatever this is. I actually literally have no idea what this is, so let's give it a listen. So that's cool and all. You can pretty much do it however you want. I personally wouldn't go with this just because, I don't know, it feels like cheating. I would rather it feel a little more handcrafted rather than just taking something from a MIDI. But of course, you can also do that and then change it up a little bit. I have done that where I'll take a song that has a MIDI version and I'll take the MIDI and then like rearrange the chords to make it more original. For this, however, I'm just gonna go to that website that I mentioned and then just do it from there. Yeah, here it is. Lo-fi chord progressions, 11 easy ways to whatever. This is the one that I come back to and use a lot. A fun mini game to play with this one. Just like go through, pick a random song, and see if it's ever been used in a Sev music. Let's choose this one. Yep, heard that one before. Alright, we got it recreated. I might go in and just like change it up a little bit. When it comes to a lot of lo-fi, I notice that there is usually a bit of a walk down, which is essentially, you can see it right there, the keys are walking down as they progress. Now it does feel a little loud, so I think what I might do is get rid of some of these bottom chords or notes or whatever. Yeah, in fact, let's make it so it's limited to like only 4. Let's make it so it's like only 4 per thing. There we go, now it's original. Now from here you can do 2 things. Since I am using a piano, one thing that you can do is go in and kind of change up the timing of it so it sounds a little more like someone actually playing the piano keys. Because when you play piano, you aren't just like hitting all the keys at the same time. Your fingers are landing at slightly different intervals, so it'll sound something more like this. Yeah, you can do that, or you can do what I end up doing a lot, is just making it more like this. There we go. Now it sounds like a real person's doing it. What you can also do is you can go in, you can change like the volume of it and stuff. I usually don't do that because I feel like that takes too much time. I'll go ahead and do it here just to show you, but yeah, it really doesn't make that much of a difference, so I wouldn't bother it with it, but I don't know, maybe you want to, I don't know, it's your song, do whatever. Alright, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put it in to here, just gonna copy and paste it wherever the original sample was, and then yeah, let's see how that sounds. Oh, before we do that, we might want to go to the actual thing and put it into the same, let's see, what was it, 5? I think it was 5. I think 5 is the one where the original sample was. Oh wait, I can literally check. What am I doing? Yep, 5. Okay. So let's see how it sounds now. Now it does sound a little too reverby, a little too echoey, because it doesn't seem to stop super well. So thankfully, Lo-Fi Panda allows us to edit such things. Yeah, here we go. If we turn this down, I think it'll not reverberate as much. Jeez, that That was a really bad voice crack. Wow.
Do we agree on the basic things?
There we go. That's better. Alright, but we're not done there. See, because we made the chord progression all by ourselves, that means that we can also make a melody, which you can also do that with samples. In fact, I would encourage it. It's just easier if you already have the chords like right in front of you. For this, I'll go ahead and make another Lo-Fi Panda, and we will add in, let's go with keys. Okay. Again, when I go with melodies, with pianos, I usually do upright basic or upright piano basic. So right here, I'm gonna go ahead and play this over and over, and I'm gonna put, I'll basically put like notes like on the actual like chords that you have, that you see here. All right, let's see how this sounds. And that sounds fine, but what you might want to do is go ahead and bring this up a little bit, just so that, you know, it doesn't sound like it's at the same, like, pitch as the chords. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm actually going to go ahead and make another little melody. I'll go ahead and like copy and paste this and just put it back down there. It'll be basically the same. I'll change some of it slightly. All right, I'm done with that. So let's go ahead and put it in, or actually let's do this. Let's put it in its own channel. Put some reverb, as the kids call it these days. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and put like a small delay. Not too much, just a little bit of a delay. Oh, and right, let's go ahead and put a bit of vinyl in there. That might sound good. There we go. That sounds pretty good. But why stop there? Why stop at just that when you can put another one? Because why not? I'm going to go to the one that we have down here. This is the one that I'm using for the melody. We can go to clone. And then let's go to pitch production and go to Vibra Relaxed. Now this one makes you feel relaxed. No, but I mean, it's pretty cool. There we go. It's just a little bit of a thing to add in the background. You don't have to make it super obvious that it's there. It's just, you know, it's just fun. All right, before I press play, I want to go over something super important. I didn't go over this in like the other thing because it didn't really matter because I was doing a sample. But a lot of the time, all of the time actually, you need to worry about mixing. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to go like, I'll load up this and go like, ooh, you gotta have the low ends, the high. Because honestly, I don't know how that works too well either. Just know that like if your beats do feel a little muddied or, you know, there's like too much going on, what you might want to do is take, you know, sounds that are supposed to be lower and keep them that way by doing that. Or you can do the opposite and have sounds kept in like the high end areas. Now again, I didn't do that for any of these because I didn't feel like it was necessary, but you know, if you have like a super complex like thing with like 50 sounds going on at the same time and you can't hear any of them, you might want to mess with the mixing a little. For the purpose of this little exercise, what I'm going to go ahead and do is go to this. This is the, which one? The Vibra. If you go up here, click the gear, and take this thing. It's called the pan. I know that because it says pan. What it basically does is it, like, depending on which direction you point it in, it'll go more towards like the left side of your headphones or the right side. I'm gonna go ahead and have it slightly go to the left, and then I'm gonna go to the piano, the melody piano, and take it a little bit to the right. Now, like I said, the vibra is kind of in the background, so it doesn't really matter, and there's not a whole lot going on in this song anyways, but it's just always a good thing to remember to do that if you have, like right here, multiple melodies going on at the same time. So let's hear that, how that sounds. Much more clear, much easier to distinguish the two sounds separately than if they were just both in the exact middle, like how everything else is. So yeah, now that we've done that, let's go ahead and play the whole thing through.
Are we really interested in the same thing? Do we feel at ease together? Are we proud of each other? Do we agree on the basic things?
And that just about wraps it up. So yeah, that was cool beats for cool kids. Now, out of the two, I'm not quite sure which one I like better. I guess I kind of like this one just because it already has its own melody to it. But I don't know, the other one was pretty cool too. So yeah, I don't know which one I'll end up like actually posting. But yeah, if you want to see one of these songs, you can follow me on my music channel, Sev Does Music, or you can follow me on Bandcamp, also called Sev Does Music. I've also got a SoundCloud. I don't know if I'll upload this on there. I don't upload as much on SoundCloud, but yeah, follow me there anyways. Why not? And while you're at it, maybe, I don't know, click that little red button, well, they're not red anymore, are they? They're like grayed out for some reason. If you like the video, like the video. If you like subscribing, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you all. That's the end of the sentence. I'll see you all. Goodbye.